gentlemen, I am telling you that we are doing something high risk. Like I was saying, we're doing something high risk. Allow me to demonstrate. I'll flip this around. As you can see, we have some very jangly materials here. I'm just showing you the kind of things that we're talking about here. This is probably gold-filled jewellery. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to examine it later and dissolve it. Showing you some other things. I got these from the local opportunity store in case you're interested. And just so that you know, in case you're thinking I'm being a bit mean about it, whilst I was over there, I actually appraised some jewellery and showed them some jewellery they were selling for. Excuse me for 1 second. Haha. Bribery. Loki, would you like? Yes, there you go. Would you like? Don't you dare make a noise. There you go. Okay. That's called positively reinforcing bad behaviour. It's not going to work again, so we're going to go through it. Okay, so here we go. All right, where was I up to? So this is from the local opportunity shop, the op shop. Now, in case you're wondering if I'm being mean, ripping off op shop people, no. I went over there and I had a look through the rings and I said, I'm just going to look and see if I can spot any silver or gold in there. And the lady goes, oh, I've got this ring here. I don't know if it's silver or gold. And I said, oh, yeah, silver. I can see it. I showed her where the mark was. So I went and appraised some of the jewellery that they didn't know about for them. So there you go. And I'm not a jewellery appraiser. I can find a stamp, okay? So at any rate, this is probably gold filled, which is better. At best, this is gold plated. At best, this is gold plated. I'm worried about these actually having any gold in them whatsoever. This guy is probably gold filled with silver, so pretty good. This ring, probably gold plated. This ring, don't know. Might even have genuine diamonds in it, but we'll find out later on. Basically, these are going to be dissolved. That won't. And I'm still considering that one. Because they look quite nice as pieces and maybe they've got some intrinsic value if somebody wants to buy them. So I think that it's probably, if this is going to be just melted away, it might be a bit of a shame. So I don't know. So that's the gold that you can get from jewellery, just from a local opportunity shop. Over here, have a look at this. This is a circuit board from, well, a piece of electronics. You can see these contacts here and these gold coloured things, they are genuine gold. And underneath there is a chip. Underneath the heatsink is a chip, more gold. We're ignoring the birds now. Here are some little contacts which I've been able to take off. Now this looks like easy gold. It certainly isn't. It's gold plating. It's pretty heavily plated, but it's... Oh, hello there, how are you doing here? So they're pretty heavily plated, but they're still just plated, right? This is opal. Now, what I thought I'd do is I'd actually show you, and why I call this high risk, because it genuinely is high risk. What I've got here is a solution that I think has been converted into gold chloride by some tin, and that means that's a high fail solution. This stuff has been processed and it's had the crap filtered out of it. Now the reason why I've got the plugs on here is that I'm about to add sulfur and I've got birds, and even though they are making a nuisance of themselves, I don't want toxic gases going to them, so I'm covering them up. This is the thing that will make the toxic gases. It's something called SMB, just in normal water. Let's give this a go. First things first, I'll try and pop the SMB into here. Excellent. This is a very, very mild reaction, but we've got some. Let's see if we can spot some gold. There it is. Did you see it? Nice gold flake. Can't believe that happened. That's working. Woohoo! Okay, well that worked well. Okay, this is the one that's the real money shot though. Yeah, I know. Never work with children or animals or Max. Max. All right. Anyway, here we go. So this is the real solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over here, and I've realised that I've gotten the wrong lid for the wrong reasons, and I'm not going to do this and risk Max without having something to lid it with. That'll work. Okay, good. All right. So here we go. Take the lid off here, and let's hope that this works. This is SMB. It's notorious for not working, so this is the bravest thing I've ever done on a YouTube channel. Here we go. Does that work? Over the top we go. No, that won't work. Quickly. This can make choking fumes very quickly, so... All right, that's a good result. That's turned the light colour. Now, when you see 3 tips or some of these other people do it, that's not a good one. You can see can you see the mirage-like effect? That's what I'm looking for, not the particles. That's just because I haven't filtered it well. There's one, got a piece of gold. Woohoo! Right, so, yep, there's pieces of gold that are just forming out there. Can you see how it's all starting to form? Look at that. Yeah, well, guess what? I've got gold here, so that's more captivating than you. Okay. So you can now see, yeah, some of that is just me failing to filter, but at the same time, a lot of that is actual gold. So it's a success. The gold is now coming out of solution. And that's the cumulative effort of several months of just scrubbing circuit boards. Yep, you saw it first here. I was hoping that we'd get a better reaction than that, but that's probably the best you can get for a live stream kind of thing, especially with birds in the background. Yes. So I'm really, really pleased that happened. That's what it looks like just in there. I'm going to move this SMB solution outside because even though Max is annoying the crap out of me, that's no reason to choke him to death. So out this goes. Whoop. Now, we'll keep an eye on that throughout the evening. But it's just a slow experiment, really. If you get SMB instantly precipitating, that happens, but it also precipitates overnight. So there is gold in there. We saw it. I'll just try and zoom in again, see if we can spot it again. Come on, there's the gold. You need light. Now, one of the reasons why I did that is because there's a channel out there called 3 Tips, and he's very good, don't get me wrong. But he's always going and, pouring a nice pile of powder into the solutions, and this brown gold just comes floating out of it. It never happens that way, and it takes an awful lot of effort to get it to that stage. Especially with the circuits. I'll grab one of them. It looks so simple just to get the gold off that, but it isn't. If you have a look at the circuits, you can see that those silvery bits, they're actually solder, and solder is tin, and tin is poisonous to gold. And I can actually show you what it looks like when you've got, where is it? Over here somewhere. Yep, this is what it looks like if you try and do an SMB drop with tin in it. Now that is actually a jar full of promise as far as I'm concerned, but you can see how it's so crappy. You can actually... Hello, how you doing, Hugo? So you can see that stuff, you can see a little bit of gold sitting in there for sure, but that is just ridiculously cloudy. And that brown stuff, that's tin, and that's what's poisoning it. So the other thing I've got to show you is these are, even this kind of stuff here, which I've got here, the gold foils that I've extracted from the... Oh, hang on, I'm just going to give you a view of it. The foils that I've extracted from the circuits, they're high fail as well because they've got tin just infused in this solution just in here. And that tin will still interfere with even the smelting of the gold. So you've got to clean it all down. So it's a big involved process. It's not impossible, but it is nigh on impossible. Had I known how much effort it was going to take to get all this happening, I probably wouldn't have started it, because it is just ridiculously full of effort. And once you started, you've got like vats full of chemicals for 2 years or something like that. So, you know, all I can say is, if you want to try it, go right ahead. Oh, the other thing is, the thing they won't tell you in the manuals and stuff nowadays is that there's a lot of the things that you make are actually explosive, so you've got to be careful. So anyway, that's that. Now let's go cut ourselves some opals. Going to grab me some of these guys. Max, you have been so well behaved. Max, you have been a shining wit. My scratchy poo? One thing Max isn't going to tell you is that he's already been out today. Yeah, whatever. I've got opals. Yeah. No, I'm eating them. I'm having them myself. He doesn't know, they're just sparkly. Someone remind me to do their water. Right. Out here we go. And welcome all 50 people, and thanks for the 2 likes. Okay, we can have a look over here. We've got some opals that are ready to go. Got these opals, which I've already picked out over the last couple of... She's probably right. I'll go do the water right away. You can look at the wonderful wheel. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But Adele was right. I needed to do the water. Speaking of water, this is here. We are now operational. That thing's operational. We saw it. All craft prepared to retreat. Our craft can't protect it. Repelled fire power of that magnitude. All right. Yeah, just so that you know, Adele, in the wintertime, there's a thing that we do. We fill it from the hot tap, and they love it. They absolutely love getting hot water from the tap there. It's a little luxury that they love. Okay, moving on. Turning on the water. You know what? I'm still wearing my good jacket. I've got to put a worse jacket on. I just told you that Max would be grateful. He looked at me and he went and bit the cage as I walked past. I presume that's a bite of gratitude. Okay, here we go. zooming in, and I'm just moving these opals away. Don't roll. I've gotten a variety of opals. I've noticed that some of them are knobbies, which might actually be awesome. I've got one which has got a huge amount of colour that's just straight out the gate. I've got one with potential but no looks, and I've got one which is a complete mystery. So we're going to go through all of them. I've also got honking great stones that we'll just try and do something with. And yeah, Adele, I was going, how am I going to do this? Do the stream and give the birds their water, and now we managed it, didn't we? So there we go. All right, so let's have a look at this guy. This guy's got sort of potential, but we'll start with, I think, this guy. Let me see if I can spot it. Yeah, this is the one we're starting with. And we'll have this guy. So I've got these two. You can see them. So this one here, I really like the look of that one. It could go very, very badly wrong, but this one here, probably not. Let me see if I can get you to the... Can you see that? Just a beautiful stone all around. So we'll probably get something out of that. Sorry, this is just in the way. We'll just get rid of the... It's whisper quiet. You can barely hear a thing. That was just sitting there, so I just quickly gave it a quick trim because I realised it wouldn't take much. This is the one I'm interested in. That's better. call this opal the lucky break. Look at that. Just trying to clear that sand, all of a sudden we've got all this. That is brilliant. So, let's have a quick look at here. I'm extremely happy with this one. Extremely happy. It's a good result all around, this guy. We're probably going to go from this side. The other side's got slightly more colour, but it's also got more issues. So I'll have the issue-free side for 10 tanks. Yeah. So if it gets no better, 50 to 100 bucks for that stone. If it gets better than that, then we start $100 to $200 probably. So, you know, not a bad little cash cow. Now this guy has got a little bit of colour all through it, so I'm just going to turn it into a cab and we'll accept whatever happens with it basically. Oh, very nice, thank you. Hello there, Vessel. I feel like the whole thing's playing a game of peekaboo. Peekaboo, 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 peekaboo.
Well, if there are any 10-month-old babies in the audience, I would have loved that. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're playing the opal colours version of chicken, because basically there's some colour there, and if you look at that in the sunlight, this isn't a hopeful one, this is a very good one, so you'll see colour in the sun, but there's possibly better colour underneath. So you go, how much should I cut away? There is no right answer to this question. You get lucky, basically. That's as far as I dare to go. It's a little bit dark, but better off having a little bit dark than no colour at all. Yeah, that's good. I'll fashion it into a drop later, especially if it turns out to be a nice one. I'll give you a bit of advice here. A bit of advice. It is really quite cold, this water. Right, straight through this bit. I'm leaving it like that, it's not that great. Call that a fail. Stick it in the artifact bag. Have a look at these. See if that gets any better. That's to cut it, because it's clearly going out. Maybe I didn't need to cut it. Look at that. Oh well. I think I did all right. I think this is, there's a bit more opal there, but it really didn't have much form to it, so yeah, look. the laboratory of the curiosity. Collaborating with the curiosity. Max is yelling his ass off out there. Did I say, sorry, I meant get here. Yeah. You have a great day. Oh, I like lights. Lights are the things that I like. I like them a lot because they're lights. Now it's got a crack in it, so that's doomed. Right, try this last one. There we go. Nice. At least one of them works. All right, let's do this guy. It's a nice little one. Then hats on. Woohoo! Okay, so the sparkle and the chambered nature of this gives away what kind of opal it is. It's wood opal. There we go. So I managed to clean it all up. Now, I can guarantee that wood opal is very, very difficult to clean up. And anyone who disagrees, my argument, my proof about that is I'm the guy with the wheel. And that's about as good as I could make it. Okay, here we go. It's just really tough. I can't explain why it's tough. I can, it's chambered, it's got lots of, well, chambers in it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just asking a few questions of this particular opal. It's a knobby. It's one that I would expect to find sunflash in. Is there sunflash in it? No, it's a complete mystery. This particular opal. Hopefully yes, but am I certain? Absolutely not. This is one of those opals which just either works or it doesn't. Oh no, that's looking interesting. Okay, so I've got a black base here. At this point, Justin from Black Opal looks directed to going, oh, this is looking good. This reminds me of my dad. Right, here we go. As the great Justin would say, I'm going in, I'm going in. Just going to stop here and check to see if there's sunk left or anything on it. Not yet. As far as I can check it. Funny thing is, there's no evidence whatsoever to say there's going to be anything good in here, and yet something makes me ridiculously hopeful. I don't know what that is. I hope I'm right. See? Ridiculously hopeful. Like I said, there's no reason to think I am right. Like, I'm just got a feeling, so let's see how good feels are, hey? Oh, hang on. It could be a mistake, but I think that's just a little bit of pink down there in my nail. Nothing much to go by, but whoa, that's exciting. Don't get your hopes up, the chances are pretty bad. Oh, that smells like good opal. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. Come on, don't disappoint the people. Oh, thanks for the like. That was a thing. We'll do that anyway. Just up the top corner there. Just saw some green. I saw some more green. Too small to be anything yet. Come on, you can do this. Oh, 7 likes, thank you. Yes, great. If it doesn't look, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. So you can see just in that potch line there, in those cracks, just the tiniest bit of colour's coming through. It's not good enough yet, so it's just enough to hint that there's something good in there, but there's no hard evidence yet, nothing good. I'm just really hopeful at the moment. That's definitely something. What it is, it's just got the slightest bit of colour, just the slightest bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct the cab and just presume that what I've got here is the opal. It's not at the moment, put it that way. I've got to get rid of all the sand, so that's another thing. But if it's sunflash, either side could have colour on it, you wouldn't know. I'm pretty certain that this side has colour on it, but I can't prove it. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. So in answer to the question, yeah, we've got colour, but that's not enough colour. We need more. Okay, I don't get. Oh, thanks for all the light, guys. So there's a little bit of colour there. I don't dare go any further without looking at it in the sun. Have a look at this light. Yeah, just a tiny bit of greeny purple, just down in that white cloudy area. Just yeah. But I don't want to ruin it, so I'll just move on. Saw some colour, and then it's on the edges, so I don't know which edge it was. And you just got to keep going on the edge. Just hope there's more if I cut it off. Probably cut the colour off, giving up on that one. Better luck with this one, you reckon? It's time to hunt down the Magnum opal. So let's go. Oh, that's pink. See that? Pink substrate. That's the sort of stuff that I want to make pink opal. I want it to be precious in the middle there. This isn't really opal, this is more matrix opal. Basically, opal is sand in it. As far as I know, there is no opal called Neo. Ooh, 11 likes, thank you. They like me, they really like me. Oh, this is getting better. Just from a feel perspective, from feels, basically it's getting to a consistency or a tenor, we should use the word tenor. Consistency is like sliminess. Yeah. Well, some of this opal is going to be good. It's just how much is going to be left. I'm going to have to remove this section. No helping it. That's has to be done. Literally angling the blade so that impact is minimal. There you go. Yeah. Woo, 13 likes, thank you guys. 2 likes. That's a wonderful like count. Thank you, guys. Here we go. Yep. At least I've got most of the stuff off it. I'll put that on the drop stick because it's getting to be too small to manage. I was hoping for a bit more iridescent green, but at least it's got colour of some description. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one straight in half. If it's got something in it, we'll go for it. If not, we're moving on. Nearly. Let's have a look. Once again, close but no cigar. But check this out. Let's just have a quick look over here. That's interesting. Now that is a sight for sore eyes. Look at that. Yeehaw! Yeehaw, Grandma! Just like that, the whole landscape changes. Look at that. Now guys, I've got no choice but to get rid of that sand that's next to the opal, so wish me luck. This could be the end of it. have a look. Worried. It lives. The colour lives. Another day. Trouble is, you have to remove all the sand. You've got no choice. But it's also where the colour lives. Well, I had to do it. I'm not sure what survived though, so a bit depressing, but what can you do? Move on. Quickly take the skin off this one. Still going for a magnum opal now. Let's just finish on a blinder. Nope. All right. Try the same trick with this guy. I'll try and cut it in half. Alright, let's have a look at this one. Probably do the same thing, but hey, you only live once. Unless you're a cat. Ooh, 18 likes, thanks guys. just so you understand my thinking, there is solid opal on the other side, so that means that this sand must dissolve, and there might be colour as well. So I'm not exactly betting the farm on it, but betting a lot. Betting a lot of time and viewer trust on it, I should say that. I'm not sure it works. It's kind of nice, but not happy. Try one more. I have to be quick though. Let's go. Random here. Let's go. Oh, 19 likes, thank you. You may note I'm in a bit of a hurry now. And they're off and racing. And the green opal is becoming a bit orange and going to the wheel. And yes, it's turning around the corner. Yes, that's an amazing effort that opal there. Yes, and down to the final straight it comes. And yes, it's coming in, getting it polished. And commentator's running out of words. He's not actually used to doing a race. Hello there, forward. Forward or 3. It's got a crack in it. After all that. How annoying. Oh well. Let's go have a look and see how the gold's doing. In case you weren't here at the beginning, I'll just go to this side. In case you weren't here in the beginning, I actually did something called an SMB drop. I dropped some gold. A very weak solution. I'm just seeing if there's any gold at the bottom. There is. What do you know? Nice little, just a small dusting of gold just on the bottom of that. There we go. It doesn't look like much, and I'll give you that. But these are very, very hard reactions to control. And I was feeling pretty cheeky even doing it at all because there was not much chance of success. Let's try and turn the light on and see what happens. If we're lucky, we'll see some particles floating in solution. In order to see the particles, you need to be focused in the solution. We're not. I can see some particles from time to time, but it's not focusing on them. There was one. Oh, come on. No, well, turn that off. It's clearly not going to work. Here we go. Yoink. Man, it's cold out there. Jacket off. Bam. Yoink. And then good jacket back on. Yoink. I could freeze the balls off a brass monkey, as they say. Alright, so this is Max. Look like a tick. Do you want to have a scratch? Do you like a scratchy bit? That's a no. Come here, bud. That's a yes from Loki. Yeah, I know. Well, suddenly you're interested now that I've done the thing, aren't you? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. I know. Unreasonable of me to offer you a scratch and then to not give you a scratch after you said no. Unreasonable, isn't it, Loki? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. So, we've got one last bird to show you. Yes. Like and subscribe! Like and subscribe! I tells you, like and subscribe! Did you see that? I thought I saw a birdie. Like and subscribe! Like and subscribe! I think I did see a birdie. I think it was Pony. Like and subscribe! Oh, she's had enough of that. You know what? I didn't see my lips move, not once whilst that was going on. There she goes. I didn't see my lips move once when that was going on. Yeah, I know. Picking up a bit of wind. Oh, there you go. Anywho. So, but I swear on the grave of Robert McTicket, the inventor of the parking ticket, that I didn't say anything when Pony was talking. So it must have been her. She told us to like and subscribe, so we must do it. That's how we do democracy in this country. It is indeed. Anyway, that's all we got for today. I hope you enjoyed all the opals and stuff. I did, sort of. Have a lovely evening, and it's a Dr. Phil out. Dr. Phil.